everybody? Welcome back to the 31 Days of Horror. I am your host, Mood616, and thank you once again for stopping in, guys. Yeah, day 3 is here, and that means it's also my birthday. Yeah, so happy birthday to me. You guys can leave all your awesome comments down below. I'm just joking. But no, for real, it actually is my birthday. So yeah, for day 3 here, this is one I've actually had on the shelf for a while. I was putting it off specifically to watch in October. I don't know why. I just, I thought that it was a good time to watch the film. It's a Canadian film that came out in the festivals, I believe, in 2016. Finally got released on Blu-ray in 2017. It can be considered an 18 film, I guess. I don't know. 2017, I think. And it's called Valley of the Rats. This is a film by Canadian director Vince D'Amato. It's also known as Odessa della Morte. There's an international cut on here. This is a very interesting release because it actually comes with 3 cuts of the film. It's got your unrated theatrical cut, which is the one I'll be reviewing. It also has the Surrealist Festival cut, which is actually a longer cut of the film, which apparently is a lot different. And it also comes with the international version titled Odessa della Morte, which is actually the shortest cut. And it does appear that all the cuts are quite different, but I thought I would start with the unrated theatrical cut because it seemed to be the most of the linear side of things. So, yeah, but Vince D'Amato, he's a Canadian director who's done, a bunch of films. I reviewed a film of his, I believe, on my channel, or it may have been on a 31 Days of Horror called Reversed, which is a very cool film. He's directed lots of good stuff. This one actually has appearances from Lynn Lowry's in this movie, which is really cool. She plays a movie star. Of course, she was in I Drink Your Blood and Shivers, The Crazies, things like that. She had kind of an interesting career, man. She didn't really do much for the first 25 years of her career. In the last, 10 years, she's, done, 100 movies. It's insane. We also have an appearance from Dan Ellis in this movie. He, of course, is from Gutterballs and, of course, American Guinea Pig, Bloodshock, most recently. So what we got here, this is Joe D'Amato. I just said Joe D'Amato. This is Vince D'Amato's take on a giallo. So what we have here, we follow our main character by the name of, what is our main character's name again? Jesse. We follow Jesse. He has just been let out of jail. He's recently been arrested for the murder of his fiance. And now the cops didn't charge him because they didn't really have full evidence. He claims that he didn't do it. So what he has done here, he's rented a limo. And he's picking up a bunch of his past friends and his fiance's friends and acquaintances and things like that. And trying to figure out who actually murdered her by doing this. I'll just leave the plot right there. Now, my thoughts on this one. This is a really interesting premise for a giallo, Vince's take on a giallo. I love this idea, him just rolling around, trying to have drinks with people, trying to, conversate with them, and trying to figure out exactly who murdered his fiance. I love this premise. It's very cool. This cut of the film runs about 72 minutes, so, it's not that long of a film. It gets right into the right into it. It's got very, very good pacing. It's got interesting characters. The characters come and go quite fast in this film, and it's not even that bad of a thing because for the short time that they're on screens, you kind of get to know them. You feel like you kind of get to know the characters for what you need them for in the film, which I really enjoyed. So yeah, the pacing is really good in this one. The music is really good. Besides one scene, there's one kind of odd montage, lesbian sex scene where the music I felt like didn't really fit. But otherwise, I thought the whole music was actually very well done. But I think the coolest thing about this film is the idea of the limo and trying to break it down like that. It does have all your elements of a true giallo. It does have a killer that's dressed in black. It's not so much POV. You do get to see a face. But there's all those elements there. But this is a very, very artsy take by Vince on the giallo genre, man. Because the first half of the film is pretty linear. Like I said, it's got our main character. He's interviewing all these people. We've got Dan Ellis' character who plays a detective coming and going from the limo. And then about halfway through the film, it takes this very bizarre, sexually charged, violent transition in the film where it just goes crazy. It just goes batshit crazy. It gets very silent for a while. It's just like the film I reviewed in day one, Nails. There's not a lot of dialogue in the second half. There is towards the end of the film and stuff, but it's a lot of scenes, and it kind of breaks down the plot and kind of gives you a general idea of what's going on and stuff, if you can make sense of it. Like I said, it's very artsy. It's kind of all over the place. It's not going to be for everybody, but if you are into giallos and art house films, mysteries, things like that, you might really, really dig this one. I think it's actually worth your time. The acting, for the most part, is pretty solid in this. It does have its fair share of tits and muff, and a little bit of gore in this one. The killer, there's not a lot of kill. I mean, because we're investigating one thing, so there's not really a lot of kills. There is some gore in this, which is kind of cool. I wasn't really expecting, just considering the plot of it. But overall, this was a really interesting watch. You know, the runtime was perfect for what it was. There was never any downtime, which was such a good thing. There's some really cool nods in this film, though. Like with Lynn Lowry, I think there's like this one little kind of strange flashback scene, which a lot of the past tense scenes in this film are actually shot in black and white too, which I thought was really cool. But there's this one really cool scene where we get to see Lynn Lowry, and she plays this movie star, and you know, you actually get to see her character from like on the screen, because they're at the screening of from I Drink Your Blood and stuff, which is really damn cool. Little shout outs and little odd things in the film, like this one character actually is reading the Stephen King's Bachman books and things like that. I love things like that in films where you just recognize. But yeah, this one was all shot in Vancouver, my old stomping ground, so I get to see a lot of the things, a lot of the places that I've lived through and stuff. Gritty, grimy, gross Hastings Street, which is kind of world famous for one of the most disgusting places on earth. It's just nasty down there, but they do have like a kind of a panning shot through there, which I thought was really cool. But so yeah, the cinematography is done pretty cool. It must have been very difficult because they literally shot in a live limo. Like they were really driving around in Vancouver shooting in this limo. So some of the camera work in certain scenes is a little bit shaky because you tell it was shot handheld, which didn't really bother me because he changed up quite well, and I thought the editing actually was really good in this film also to go along with the cinematography. So and like I said, the music was good besides one part kind of thing, but overall I enjoyed the hell out of this Valley of the Rats. Yeah, so I imagine so many people are probably looking at the title of this, you know, before clicking on the video and going, is that a killer rat film? No, it is not a killer rat film. It has nothing to do with rats. You can kind of break it down, give your own idea what Valley of the Rats is just from, you know, the plot and stuff. So very cool stuff, man. Valley of the Rats. If I had to rate this one, I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. Yeah, I thought it was really well done. Some really good stuff in here. So another good one from Vince D'Amato. I think he actually won for Best Picture at one of the festivals too, which I can totally see that because, you know, it's a very interesting take on the giallo genre. Yeah, another pretty cool Canadian one. So you can get this Blu-ray from Shivers Entertainment.ca, I believe, or maybe it's .com. I think they might still be available on there. This edition might not be. I know they have the 2-disc versions. This was limited to 500. Oddly enough, I got number 3, the third day. That was not planned at all. But yeah, Valley of the Rats, give this one a go if you like your art house giallos, stuff like that. So yeah, that's all I can say about that one. It's only 72 minutes long, so, but highly, highly recommend that. Pretty good stuff. So that is going to conclude day 3, and I will check you guys in day 4. Don't know what I'm going to be doing, and I know I say that every day because I kind of choose last minute, but yeah, check you guys then. Peace!